Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Please sing everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Welcome everyone for Friday evening Bhagavad Gita class. We are going to read from chapter 10, verse number 3 today. If you can follow after me, you may join me. Yo mam ajam anadim cha, vetti loka maheshwaram, asammudah samartyeshu, sarva papai pramuchyate. Yah, anyone who, mam, may, ajam, unborn, anadim, without beginning, cha, also, vetti, knows, loka, of the planets, Mahaishwaram, the Supreme Master, asammudah, undeluded, saha, he, martyeshu, among those subjects to death, sarva papai, from all sinful reactions, pramuchyate, is delivered. He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the Supreme Lord of all the worlds, he only, undeluded among men, is freed from all sins. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. As stated in the 7th chapter, 7.3, Manushyanam sahasresu kaschid yatati siddhaye. Those who are trying to elevate themselves to the platform of spiritual realization are not ordinary men. They are superior to millions and millions of ordinary men who have no knowledge of spiritual realization. But out of those actually trying to understand their spiritual situation, one who can come to the understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the proprietor of everything, the unborn, is the most successful spiritually realized person. In that stage only, when one has fully understood Krishna's supreme position, can one be free completely from all sinful reactions. Here, the Lord is described by the word Aja, meaning unborn, but he is distinct from the living entity who are described in the 2nd chapter as Aja. The Lord is different from the living entity who are taking birth and dying due to material attachment. The conditioned soul are changing their bodies, but his body is not changeable. Even when he comes to this material world, he comes as the same unborn. Therefore, in the 4th chapter it is said that the Lord by his internal potency is not under the inferior material energy, but is always in the superior energy. In this verse, the word Vetti Loka Maheshwaram indicate that one should know that Lord Krishna is the supreme proprietor of the planetary systems of the universe. He was existing before the creation and is different from his creation. All the demigods were created within this material world. But as far as Krishna is concerned, it is said that he is not created. Therefore, Krishna is different even from the great demigods like Brahma and Shiva. And because he is the creator of Brahma, Shiva, and all the other demigods, he is the supreme person of all planets. Shri Krishna is therefore different from everything that is created, and anyone who knows him as such immediately becomes liberated from all sinful reactions. One must be liberated from all sinful activities to be in the knowledge of Supreme Lord. Only by devotional service can he be known, and not by any other means, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. One should not try to understand Krishna as a human being. As stated previously, only a foolish person thinks him to be a human being. This is again expressed here in a different way. A man who is not foolish, who is intelligent enough to understand the constitutional position of the Godhead, is always free from all sinful reactions. If Krishna is known as the son of Devaki, then how can he be unborn? That is also explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. When he appeared before Devaki and Vasudev, he was not born as an ordinary child. He appeared in his original form, and then he transformed himself into an ordinary child. Anything done under the direction of Krishna is transcendental. It cannot be contaminated by material reaction, which may be auspicious or inauspicious. The conception that there are things auspicious and inauspicious in the material world is more or less a mental concoction, because there is nothing auspicious in the material world. Everything is inauspicious because the very material nature is inauspicious. We simply imagine it to be auspicious. Real auspiciousness depends on activity in Krishna consciousness in full devotion and service. Therefore, if we at all want our activities to be auspicious, then we should work under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Such directions are given in authoritative scriptures such as Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, or from bona fide spiritual master, because the spiritual master is the representative of the Supreme Lord. His direction is directly the direction of the Supreme Lord. The spiritual master, saintly persons, and scriptures direct in the same way. There is no contradiction in these three sources. All actions done under such direction are free from the reactions of pious or impious activities of this material world. The transcendental attitude of the devotee in the performance of activity is actually that of renunciation, and this is called sannyas. As stated in the first verse of 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, one who acts as a matter of duty because he has been ordered to do so by the Supreme Lord, and who does not seek shelter in the fruits of the activities, anashritaha karma phalam, is a true renouncer. Anyone acting under the direction of the Supreme Lord is actually a sannyasi and a yogi, and not the man who has simply taken the dress of sannyasi or a pseudo-yogi. Om Agyan Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Radharata Swami Niti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So welcome everyone for the evening Bhagavad Gita class, and we read from chapter 10 verse number 3. And in this verse, there are three specific qualities of the Lord which are mentioned, that He is Aja, He is Anadim, and He is Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. So we will take one quality at a time and try to understand this in detail. So Prabhupada, in the starting of the purport, he started with Bhagavad Gita 7.3, which mentions about the readity of a person who knows Krishna in truth. So the verse is, Manushyanam sahasresu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tatvatah. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection. And of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. And this is true because Prabhupada in the class, so how Prabhupada explains in the class, in Bhagavad Gita class he had given in December, on December 30th, 1966, he is asking that nowadays people may say that what is the use of understanding God? Let God remain in his place and we may remain in our place enjoying this material world. What is the use of knowing God? There is no necessity, or we don't need to be bothered about that. But Krishna says, no, if you do not take that botheration, then you will never be happy. Neither you will be liberated. So it is your interest to understand God. Not that God will profited. If you understand him, no, you will be profited if you understand him. That is what Srila Prabhupada says. And in Bhagavad Gita also it is mentioned that this material world is dukkhalaya sashvatam. This material world is full of miseries. And we may, experience temporary happiness of different things. If we are children, we may feel happy with so many games and toys. If we are adults, we may be getting happy, temporarily happy with different kind of sense enjoyment. So at every stage, we may have different object of sense enjoyment, but they are not permanent. They give us happiness for some time. Then what after that? What about permanent happiness? And that cannot be received here in this world, because in Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned that this world is dukkhalaya sashvatam. It's a miserable place. And then, and in this verse, it is, the key has been given. How do we get rid of this misery? So only by knowing these three qualities of the Lord, that he is Ajam, he is Anadim, and he is Sarvaloka Maheshwara. He is Ajam. Ajam means unborn. So now one may argue that, if he is Ajam, then he has taken birth from Devaki's womb. So he is born, he has taken birth. But it's not an ordinary birth. One has to understand that. In 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the birth of Krishna is described very beautifully, and there are so many, while Devaki is pregnant, so many demigods constantly visit her to worship the Lord in the womb. And not only that, at the time of the birth, it's not a physical birth like any mother would give. Lord actually came in front of Devaki in the four-arm form. And then Devaki and Vasudev were bewildered. They said, you please come in front of us like a normal child. And then he turned himself into a two-arm baby form. And he was completely ornamented and everything. So this is inconceivable for us to understand. In Bhagavad Gita 4.9, Krishna says, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo vetti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So here again Krishna is saying that this three quality which we are talking about today of Aja to begin with, that 4.9 mentions that this Janma, if we understand, try and understand the Janma and activity of the Lord, that itself will qualify in due course of time that after this birth we do not have to take birth in this miserable world which is full of miseries. And further, if I speak of that, then the commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur on this verse, he is beautifully mentioning that about Damodar Leela, that how it is, the way the birth is unconceivable, all the activities of the Lord are inconceivable. So for in Damodar Leela, if all of you know, then Krishna had stolen butter in the house, and Mother Yashoda is very upset with Krishna. And she catches, so many times, so many gopis, they come and complain about Krishna. Mother Yashoda always neglects them. She says that I am the queen of Vrindavan and I have so much butter in my house. Why would Krishna, leaving the butter in my house, go and steal butter from other people's house? I don't believe all of you. I have enough butter in my house and my son doesn't do that. He's a good boy. And then here one day she sees with her own eyes that Krishna is not only stealing the butter, but he's giving this to Padmavati. He's giving it to his friends and monkeys as well, isn't it? He's creating the whole mess in the house, right? And that makes Mother Yashoda, yes? Yes. So that makes Mother Yashoda really, really mad about it, isn't it? And off she goes with the stick behind Krishna, and Krishna feels really scared. Is Mother Yashoda is going to hit me with that stick? But Mother Yashoda is just showing the stick to Krishna because she wants to now catch him and explain to him that this is wrong. And then finally when she catches Krishna, she tries to bind Krishna with the mortar, but she can't tie immediately, can she? Too short. It is 2 fingers too short. But then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that Krishna is already wearing the waist belt. He is wearing the black thread which mother had tied to him to protect him. So that belt is tied. But this rope, Mother Yashoda is unable to tie. How inconceivable is this? So these activities are also inconceivable. And that we can understand only through the association of Vaishnavas, who can explain to us. Those who have seen, they can tell us. So those who are not deluded, here the word deluded has been used, asamudha. So the devotee of the Lord are not deluded. They know these activities in truth, in reality, and they can reveal it to us. Then if we move on to Anadim. So Anadim means Krishna doesn't have any beginning. And how do we understand that? It is very easy. Lord Brahma himself says, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda, thank you for coming. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. That Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is Govinda. And he is Sarva Karana Karana, and he is Adi and Anadi. He is beginning and he is without beginning. So, but Brahma himself and Prabhupada in the purport explains that Brahma and Shiva has Adi. They have beginning. They are given. They have given existence through Krishna. But Krishna doesn't require anybody. He is always there. He is permanently existing in this world. And the third quality is Loka Maheshwara. He is the supreme proprietor or master of all planets or everything. So there is a verse in Bhagavad Gita 5.29. Bhoktaram yagna tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram suridam sarva bhutanam gnatva mam shantiricchati. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entity, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. Again, attain relief from the pangs of material misery. In this verse, we are talking about all sinful reactions are taken away. If we try and understand, we have a picture behind you all here of Lord sleeping in a ocean, and then while he is breathing, only innumerable amount of planets are being created every moment. So that shows that he is the proprietor of all the planets. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that only by associating with the devotee of the Lord we can understand this in full. Otherwise it is very difficult for us to understand the origin of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam mentions about creation, about how Lord creates everything, and very beautifully, but that can be understood only by the association of the devotees. And Srila Prabhupada says that that's why it is very important to understand that Lord is Ajam and Anadim. Why? Because we want to get rid of these miseries. And we can get rid of miseries only if we become asammudaha. we are without doubt. He says in the lecture that asammuda samartyeshu, even in this material world, he becomes free from all sinful reactions simply by knowing and understanding that God is great. He is the proprietor of everything. He is the friend of everyone. And He is the origin of everything. This thing, if one can understand, asammudaha means not deluded. Not that because Bhagavad Gita is speaking like that, not that because Prabhupada is speaking like that, he is saying that, not because the Swami is speaking like that, but you should understand yourself, asammudaha, without any doubt. When you understand doubtlessly that God is the proprietor of everything, then you will be liberated and freed from all, I mean to say, anxieties and miseries. So it is our interest to know God. We are always full of anxieties. Nobody is free from the anxiety. Nobody is free from miseries of this material world. And here is the process. And then Prabhupada is talking about the verse of Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.31, which I will read from. नते विदु स्वार्थ गतिम ही विष्णुम दुराशया ये बहिर्अर्थमानिनः अंधा यथान्धेर उपानीयम मानास ते पिशा तंत्रयाम उरुदामनी बुद्धाः. Persons who are strongly entrapped by the consciousness of enjoying material life and who have therefore accepted as their leader or guru a similar blind man attached to external sense objects cannot understand that the goal of life is to return home back to Godhead and engaged in the service of Lord Vishnu. A blind man guided by another blind man miss the right path and fall into a ditch. Materially attached men led by another materially attached man are bound by the ropes of fruitive labor, which are made of very strong cords, and they continue again and again in materialistic life, suffering the threefold miseries. So Prabhupada explained this, and then I was thinking that how do we get rid of these three miseries? Then answer is given by Krishna himself. He says in 9.13, Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashrita bhajanti ananya manaso gnatva bhutadim avyayam. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. So this shows that Guru, Sadhu and Shastra we have to take shelter of, to be able to understand the Janma, the birth of the Lord, the activities of the Lord, how He is Anadi, there is no Adi to Him, and He is the Lord of all the planet. And how this Mahatma, they understand this because Mahatmas are always constantly engaged in the glorification of the Lord. They are constantly engaged in remembering the pastimes of the Lord. They are constantly engaged in singing the glories of the Lord. And when we associate with such Mahatmas, then we automatically catch the fever. You know, if somebody is infected with some disease and if you get in close contact with that person, you are going to catch that disease. Similarly, in the purport of 7.5, the translation of 7.5.13, we saw that when we are associating with materially minded people, we will behave like one. Because, you know, if we wear yellow color glass, we are going to see the world as yellow. If we are going to wear green color glasses, we will see the world as green. Right? So similarly, we become what we associate with. If we are going to associate with this body, this material body, the people, those who are wanting to only enjoy their senses, then we are going to become like them. But when we associate with devotees who are trying to understand, the pure devotees, they already self-realize, they know, but then there are devotees who are taking shelter of the spiritual master and they are trying to understand how to get rid of this material body. If we associate with them, then we will surely soon realize that how Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. An example can be given of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, when he was in the womb of Kayadu, she was going to be kidnapped by Indra, and Narad Muni saves her. Narad Muni protects her, and Narad Muni takes her to his hermitage. And at that time, Narad Muni is speaking Srimad Bhagavatam to her. But Kayadu is not focused in listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, because she is only thinking, oh, Indra tried to kidnap me. Now I am already, have a baby. My husband is not around. I am at this sage's house. When will my husband come? When will he come and take me from here? And she's just constantly thinking like this. But the child in the womb, Prahlad, he is listening to Srimad Bhagavatam from a pure devotee, Narad Muni. So when Prahlad is born, he is a pure devotee of the Lord. Because when he is turning 5, the father once asked Prahlad that, who is the Lord? And Prahlad says, the Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then Hiranyakashipu thinks that, where has he learned this from? So he immediately sends him to the school of demons to reprogram him, because he thinks that my son has been brainwashed, so he needs to change himself. So he sends him to the school of Shanda and Amarka, and there he is trained to be a demon. But Prahlad Maharaj, because from the womb itself he has taken association of a pure devotee like Narada, he is not forgetful of Krishna. No matter what association he is been thrown in the association of materialistic minded people. But because he is a touchstone is a thing, any metal which is touched to touchstone can turn into gold. So Prahlad Maharaj is that touchstone. Because he has been touched by a touchstone like Narad Muni, he has become one. And then he is trying to preach to his classmate, only 5-year-old boy. He's preaching to his classmate that Kaumaram acharet bhavet. You become devotee at this age. Don't wait that, when I will grow old, I will become Krishna conscious, I will think of Krishna, I will, worship Krishna. You have to start worshipping Krishna now. Shri Shri Radha Gokulanand ki jai, Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. So, darshan will open soon at 7 o'clock now. The curtains are just closed. But you can listen to Bhagavad Gita class. So, he is preaching to his classmates, and then he is also giving, then he's again, been harassed by Hiranyakashipu so many times. But then Hiranyakashipu finally, when he asks that where is God, is he in that pillar, he is actually seeing Lord in every pillar. So of course he is saying yes. It's not that he is lying. He is just saying because he has some faith that Lord is everywhere. He has heard in Shastra that Lord is everywhere. No, he is actually seeing the Lord. He is actually seeing the Lord in the pillar, waiting for Hiranyakashipu. So then Hiranyakashipu has been killed. So that's the whole story everyone knows. So this is the story of Mahatmas. We have to follow on the footsteps of Mahatma. In Bhagavatam, there is mention of 12 Mahajans, which we need to follow. One of them is Narad Muni, and Shiva as well is one of the Mahajan. So like that. And one of the Mahajan is Narad Muni. So we speak of Narad Muni, then Narad Muni also associated with devotees. So Narad Muni, when he was a young child in his previous birth, he was a son of a maid servant, and he was very poor. The maid servant, he was a servant of the, he was a son of a maid servant, and maid servant used to, the mother was a maid servant, and she was very simple lady, but whenever any sadhu would come to her house, she would serve them. And this is how Narad Muni in the previous life, who was a child, he happened to serve sadhus who were visiting his house during Chaturmas, the season of 4 months of the rainy season, when sadhu, they do not travel, they stay at somebody's house. So he was serving, and he was trying to understand the self-realization process from those sadhus. And by serving those sadhus, he became qualified to become Narad Muni in his next life. Because as soon as his mother was dead, he went to the forest And he started meditating upon the Lord. And Lord did give him the darshan, and he told him that now at the end of your life, you will achieve me. And then he becomes Narad Muni. So we can see that by knowing the qualities, like just simple 3 qualities, that Lord is unborn, the Lord is, he doesn't have any beginning, and the Lord is Maheshwar, Ishwar of each and every planet. And each and every planet means Lord is also Lord of all of us. In Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, Krishna says, 15.7, Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. I am Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke, everyone is part and parcel of mine. So in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, the soul is mentioned as Aja. But Prabhupada says in the purport that we should not consider that we are Aja like the Lord. We are part and parcel of the Lord. Yes, the soul is Aja because we are part and parcel of the Lord. We do have qualities like Lord, but not in full. Lord has qualities in full. All these 6 opulences which Lord has, they are in full. We have it in part. So that we have to understand that we are Aja, but not in the sense the Lord is. Lord's activities and the birth is inconceivable. Any birth of Lord we may see. We saw Krishna's birth, even we see Lord Ram's birth. That is also inconceivable because the fruit was given to Mother Kaushalya, and she gave half of the fruit to Sumitra, and then she ate half, and then Lord Ram was conceived. So there is no material way of giving the birth to the Lord. If we see any birth, Narsingha. Now, Narsingha Dev, he is not born, the pillar is the mother. Narsingha Dev is born out of the pillar. So these activities are very inconceivable. And only through the association of Vaishnava, when we read, we try to understand. And Srila Prabhupada has been so kind to translate these books like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, into English from Sanskrit. Because in today's day and age, for us to understand Sanskrit is very difficult. But Srila Prabhupada has given each and every verse, not verse, every word of that verse he has translated into English, then he has given the translation, and he gives in detail the purport, explains to us. So only the Guru, when we take a Guru, so Narad Muni, so there are different paramparas, which is there are 4 sampradayas, and they come from, so Krishna gave knowledge to Narad, to Lakshmi, to Lord Shiva, and to 4 Kumaras. And from that disciplic succession, there are different gurus in every sampradaya. So we are considered, the Hare Krishnas are from Brahma, Madhava, Gaudiya Sampradaya. And so Brahma gave knowledge to Narad, and then it is passing on to Prabhupada. And there are so many disciples of Srila Prabhupada who has this knowledge. And when we take shelter of the Guru, we can understand these activities and the birth of the Lord. So 3 things we have seen, that we can understand Lord's birth. Knowing is a different thing, but understanding is another thing. But here in this verse, it is so beautifully, only by knowing, all our sinful reactions can be eradicated. All means what we have performed and what we are going to maybe perform. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that Lord is so kind, He is very merciful. But of course, when we take up to the process of devotional service, we slowly engage our mind, our consciousness, our activities into Krishna's service. And it's not very difficult. I, as a mother, I many times say this in my class, it is very easy for a woman like me also, who is very ordinary person. Just by getting up in the morning when I cook, I'm cooking for Krishna, and whatever I'm feeding my family, it is prasad of Krishna. So that is devotional service. Very simple. Nothing extra. It's not that only devotional service can be done only if we come and stay at the temple or we become monk. At the end, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that if we are doing every activity in Krishna consciousness, that is the highest renunciation. We are all sannyasi then. Because then we are not attached to the activities which we are doing. So every activity, when I'm taking time to read, I'm talking to my children about Krishna. We try and read Bhagavad Gita every day, or Bhagavatam verses every day. We do some kirtan at home every day. So these are small activities which can be can become part of our life. Little Padmavati here as well, isn't it? She does a lot of Krishna conscious activities. What do you do at home? You do arati at home of Krishna. Well done. So see, little child like this also can perform devotional service. It is that easy. And it becomes even easier when we take shelter of the Guru and association of Vaishnavas and association of scriptures. So these three simple steps. We accept a Guru who is in bona fide sampradaya, in a disciplic succession. That is very important. We cannot take any Guru because anybody can claim I am Guru. But no, Krishna says it has to come in parampara. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita tells to Arjun that I am telling you this again. I had given this knowledge to Vivashwan before. And it has been passing down, but then in process it has been lost. So now I am retelling you this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So it shows Krishna himself is re-establishing that disciplic succession is so very important. Because in this material world, there is the world of cheaters and cheated. There are so many pseudo-gurus. Anybody who may wear saffron or, speak some good words may feel that I am the Guru. But then we have to understand, is this Guru speaking Bhagavad Gita as it is? Prabhupada, in this lecture I was hearing, he was saying that he was giving the number, some 600, some number of translation of Bhagavad Gita. Because everybody thinks they can translate Bhagavad Gita and speak on Bhagavad Gita. It has been taken very cheaply. But Prabhupada says that I have translated it as it is. Because I have taken this knowledge from my Guru. And I have given this as it is, as Krishna has given. So that makes it bona fide. And how do we understand a Guru who is bona fide? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives every question answer has been given. He says, Pariprashnena sevaya. By asking your Guru, a personality who is a Guru, a devotee, that different questions you may have about Krishna consciousness, about Bhagavad Gita, about any scriptures, about your material life, how you can realize God. If you ask that question to a spiritual master, but how do we ask arrogantly? No, in a humble mood. By being humble, in humility, we have to beg for the knowledge. We become the servitor, we have to serve the Guru. And when we serve the Guru, Guru automatically showers his blessings. Om Agyan Timirandasya, because Guru can take away the darkness which we are in. He can open our eyes with torchlight of knowledge. So process is very simple. 3 things. So if I conclude the class, then 10.3 talks about that I will read the purport again, so it makes more sense to everyone to conclude. So the translation of the verse is, he who knows me, this is Krishna who is speaking, he who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme Lord of all the worlds, he only undiluted among men is freed from all sins. So then I was just explaining that how Krishna is unborn, then Krishna is beginningless, and Krishna is the Lord of all the world. And who can understand this? Only undiluted man. And who is the undiluted man? Person like Srila Prabhupada, gurus of Srila Prabhupada, those who are in disciplic succession, who has understood Krishna, they have understood it. And those who have understood it, they can tell us that how everything works and who Krishna is and how do we love Krishna, how do we know Krishna. So only by hearing from Shastra, from Vaishnavas, we can understand Krishna. So Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. These are the 3 things which can help us to understand these 3 qualities of Krishna. The process is very simple. So I would end my class here. If you have any question or comment, please feel free to ask. Okay. So 7 o'clock darshan will open. we can do some kirtan for some time. Prabhu, would you do some kirtan? You can come here. Shall I give you the mic? I can bring you Karta. Okay. I'll just end here. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Padmavati, you will do? You can also do with Baba. Come.
Corta me corpo. Antes corta Baba, tu me midango coro. Midango for boys.
Okay.
Midango for boys. Madhava Kanjayavari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Kapichananandama Nivanavari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kanjayavari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Kapish Dashadara Maya Dasadara Rantaya
Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Namagamiya Anatai
Jamuna Tira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kanjaivai
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare
Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare Bol Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namaste Shankara Kunkum.
করো
Namaste Naya Shangara.
নমস্তে নরসিংহায়
Paladala Dadaine.
প্রহ্লাদলাদাইনে
Hiyangaga Sikuvasaha.
হিরণ্যকশিপুর্বক্ষঃ
Shilatanka Nakalare.
শিলাতঙ্কানকলয়ে
Bahito Nashinga Vadato Nashinga.
ইতো নৃসিংহ পরত নৃসিংহ
Jata Jata Damita Dorishinga.
যত যত জানি তত নৃসিংহ
Bahena Shinga Hridayena Shinga.
বহি নৃসিংহ হৃদয়ে নৃসিংহ
Nishingna Made Shayana Vapare.
নরসিংহ মতি শরণং প্রপদে
Tavakara Tamalava Nakam Advuka Shinga Dalitai Hiyanga Kashibu Karavenda Deshabadita Nalare Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Jaya Jagadisha Jaya Jagadisha
তব কর কমল হরে নাখাম অদ্ভুত শৃঙ্গ দলিতা হিরণ্যকশিপু তনুপিঙ্গাম
Deshabadita Nalare Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Jaya Nishingnade, 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 Jaya Nishingnade.
জয় নৃসিংহদেব 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 জয় নৃসিংহদেব
Jaya Palamalaj, 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 Jaya Palamalaj.
জয় প্রহ্লাদ মহারাজ প্রহ্লাদ মহারাজ জয় প্রহ্লাদ মহারাজ
Jai Guru Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Guru Hari Bol.
নিতাই গৌর হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল নিতাই গৌর হরি বল হরে কৃষ্ণ বলো
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে হরে
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
No, I thought that Srinivas Prabhuji said somebody's coming. अच्छा करताल दे दीजिए. Hare Krishna, Gaura Arati will start in a minute, so if you can please get up and just come forward. Hare Krishna. મારું પર્સમાં છે રહી લિયો ના ચાલશે હવે ના રહેવા દો છે અહીંયા બીજા હશે ટપાલ છે छोटे वाले Do you want to see? You sure? લઈને જોયું श्री राधा गोकुल नंद की, श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की, श्री गौरानिताय की, शीला प्रभुपाद की बजायो जयो गौरचंद्र आरती का शोभा.
Vasa